Yes, the upcoming season, the 2026-2027 season is upon us, and I'm here to give you my predictions in La Liga, UEFA Champions League, and the English Premier League. Both Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to win trophies this season. Barca would win trophies. Real Madrid will also win trophies. Jose Mourinho will do something he has never done in his career before in this particular season. This is ASK Morgan Sports. Please stay with me. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Like the videos. Please go to the comment section and tell us what you don't like about our work, criticize our work, and we would tailor everything to suit you. So in the English Premier League, I think Arsenal are going to be first because of their squad depth and because now Arteta has experience in chasing the Premier League. Among the coaches in the Premier League now, he's the one that has the most Premier League experience, and especially chasing. He has the squad that has the highest winning mentality. Currently, his squad has the highest winning mentality, and so they will be able to forge on and go. Now, they've strengthened even parts of the team that looked shaky. You understand? They've managed to strengthen it. The left wing, they've brought Christos Trolis and all of that. They've brought Bruno Guimaraes into the midfield. They've completed or they've agreed personal terms with Ezri Konsa, and they are almost done with. And they are done with Aston Villa. Yes, they are done with Aston Villa as we speak, and they are bringing in Ezri Konsa to come and play in the absence of William Saliba. Yes, you know, the last time Mr. Franklin and I were discussing why they've not done anything regarding the William Saliba situation. They've taken care of it now, and they are bringing in him. Look at the squad depth they have. Joran Timber, Ben White, Christian Mosquera, Pierre Hincapié, all of these exciting players in the back line. So and their most important trait is their ability to keep a clean sheet, to prevent concession. And it is very, very important because we all know that defense would win you trophies, like the way Spain proved to us in the World Cup. It is very, very important. And because of that impeccable defense, unimpregnable defense that they have, they are likely to win the Premier League. My second choice, my second team is Manchester United. Manchester United, when they complete the signing of Carlos Baleba, they would have Andre Santos, Yuri Telemans, and I think Yuri Telemans is one underrated midfielder. Very good, same as Andre Santos, and I think they would have a very good midfield. If they, the reason I'm not waiting for them to sign a left back before I put them in the number 2 position is that the understanding is that Matheus de Ligt and Lisandro Martinez are the 2 first choice centre backs. Now the challenge is that both of them, let me say, were injury prone. But now, I dare say Lisandro Martinez is injury prone, but no, Matheus de Ligt is not, because the intermittent injuries he was having was as a result of his back pain. And because of that, he went through the surgery and now he's returning. That will make him more stable and more available. And the reason why left back may not be a problem is because Aiden Heaven can play in left back. Lisandro Martinez can also play in left back. Just as Calafiori and Pierre Hincapié are centre backs who are playing left back position in Arsenal. I think Michael Carrick will create a miniature of such because in the preseason he deployed Leny Yoro on right back, and so probably he's trying to play to develop a 4 flat centre back a defense line, and we will see how it will go. And so for me, I'm putting them on second because they have prolific attackers and they can score out of nothing. That becomes a problem. When you have somebody like Bruno Fernandes who can create out of nothing, then you have 3 players who can give you more than 10 goals in the Premier League. And now you want to add Marcus Rashford, who has gone to the Camp Nou and has delivered, and he has now built his morale and is coming back. It is safe to say that the attack is going to be very, very dangerous, and so they are likely to score a lot of goals, whilst sometimes they may concede. Yes, whilst they may concede, because in this preseason they've conceded in almost every game. I think apart from Rosenborg that they did not concede, they've conceded in almost every game, and they even conceded 4 against AC Milan, But I think with the prolific attack they have, they will be able to manage. And that is why they will place second, because of their defense. If they have a defense like Arsenal's defense, they will definitely win the Premier League. But they don't have that defense, and so they will be placing second. At number 3, I'm putting Chelsea. Xabi Alonso is one tactical genius that we've seen. And what he's doing in Chelsea is amazing. They've strengthened the team. They've strengthened the team. Marco Palestra now. Now they've brought in Maxence Lacroix and all of that. I foresee only 2 challenges in Chelsea. Number 1, the goalkeeping issue, which is that Robert Sanchez is not the top goalkeeper Chelsea deserves. However, I think Mike Penders may have it. And so maybe in the coming future, Mike Penders will get his opportunity and he will prove everybody right. So that problem has a potential solution in the squad. Now, the other problem is the uncertainty surrounding Enzo Fernandez. So I'm going to analyze 2 different scenarios. When he leaves and when he stays, both of them smell doom for Chelsea. So the first one, when he leaves, the vacuum is created. Chelsea would have to fill that space. And once they have sold André Santos, it becomes difficult to fill that space in the squad, from the squad. And so they would have to go out and sign. At this point in time, it's difficult to find a quality midfielder that will give you that quality that you need. Then the other scenario is if he stays. Now, if he stays, the fans have already started booing him. I am not really convinced that he will be able to deliver 100% on the pitch. I am not very convinced that he will be able to deliver 100% on the pitch. And so I feel that even if he stays, it is still going to take some time before he comes back. That is the problem. But the solution to these problems have also been sorted. It's as if Xabi Alonso knew the Enzo Fernandez brouhaha would live on when he was taking these decisions. Bringing in Jordan Henderson, absolutely masterclass. Now you have Jordan Henderson and then Moises Caicedo to be at the base of the midfield. Then you give Enzo Fernandez time to recover and then probably get into the right shape for the team. Now, Chelsea fans should be praying that Romeo Lavia should be fit for at least more than half of the season. If he is fit for more than half of the season, Chelsea may even place above Manchester United in this particular season. He is the difference maker for Chelsea in all of these troubles. Enzo Fernandez could just walk away. He could just leave and Romeo Lavia will carry the team. It is very likely. We all hope so. As for all the other areas of the team, it has been adequately strengthened and he is not lacking in any way. What we need now is tactics and man management to get the best out of the players. Now, Manchester City is going to be 4th on my list. Enzo Maresca has now come in. Replacing Pep Guardiola after 10 years will take some time. Okay, so Enzo Maresca would have his time with the players and he would prepare them towards it. You understand? He will prepare them towards it. The team will pick up his gel, but not this season. This season will be a learning curve for Enzo Maresca so that next season he can take all of us by storm. Now, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm putting Tottenham Hotspur fit because of the attack. Probably, if you look at their defense to the midfield, they should even be placing more than better than fit. But because of the attack, they are struggling to put together an attack. When you look at their back line, from the goalkeeper to the back line, they have Pedro Porro, and now they've signed Robertson to be at the left back position, which gives you a lot of experience in the Premier League. Now they've brought Senesi in, they have Mickey van de Ven and all of these players. And so it looks like the defense is okay. It will be rock solid. The midfield, they have Sandro Tonali. They've brought in a certain Matheus Fernandes in. They have some quality players in the middle. You understand me? What the problem now is the attack. How do they configure an attack? So you see that they are aggressively in the market trying to sign Cody Gakpo. They've spoken to Omar Mamouche. They are talking about a certain Savinho. They've been talking about Savio Jr. for a very, very long time. Because they need to configure an attack. Once upon a time, it was Son Heung-min and Harry Kane leading the attack. Today, who are those leading the attack? Matthias Tel, Richarlison? Come on. No, you can't compete in the Premier League with this attack. And so, yes, they need to put in certain strikers. They need to bring in attackers to complete the team. And because of that, for me, that is their deficiency. And then thirdly, the reason why I do not see Roberto De Zerbi beating Enzo Maresca is simply the big club mentality and experience in that regard. I think Roberto De Zerbi would use this particular season to mark his time and understand how to chase a top four, how to chase the big clubs, how to chase the title. Then next season he could probably give us the performance we all expect of him. Then Liverpool. This is going to be my most controversial one. Liverpool, where I place Liverpool is very, very crucial. Ordinarily, Andoni Iraola deserves more than what I've given him. He's excellent. He's the best thing in this Liverpool team. He's the best part of Liverpool right now. But unfortunately, the squad he has is very, very one-sided. It's quite depleted. That is why I think it's a problem. So last season, Liverpool should have signed. So two problems. The defense and then the lack of squad depth, especially up front. So now the defense. Last season, they should have signed Mark Guay. But unfortunately, they couldn't sign Mark Guay because of certain challenges. And he ended up going to Manchester City in January. Now, what we saw in that season was a devastating performance from Arne Slot. Now, that problem is still there. The Liverpool perennial problem of defense is still there. That is why they've signed Ronald Araujo from Barcelona on loan. But any serious team dreaming of competing in the Premier League that relies on Ronald Araujo at defense is joking. Now, when you look at their defense right now, they have a 35-year-old Virgil van Dijk. They have Joe Gomez, who is injured, who I don't really rate. I don't see him to be a top centre back. Even Ibrahima Konate, he couldn't compete with Ibrahima Konate. So I do not see him as a top centre back, honestly. The next one has to be, as for Ndukwe and Co, they are leaving. You understand? Now, Ronald Araujo, we all know he was good, but now he's not, and he will need time. Then a certain Jeremy Jacquet, he's the one I'm betting on to take up the realms and then lead. But don't forget, Virgil van Dijk is 35 years. 35 years. And the general squad depth, as far as the back line is concerned, is becoming a problem. Giovanni Leone is returning from an ACL injury. And for me, that is a very, very big problem. So I was expecting them to sign a top-notch, a highly reliable centre-back this particular season. But they signed Jeremy Jacquet, which I think Jacquet is an excellent defender, but he's going to take time to adapt to the game. It will take him some time to adapt to the game. By the time he would adapt, all the other teams are way ahead. That is my opinion. Then the second reason is the squad depth. Now, the reason why I'm not rating Liverpool's squad depth, especially in front, is because of the intensity of Andoni Iraola's game. You see that he plays a very refined form of high-pressing football. You understand? By high-pressing football is a game of intensity. The players keep running for all 90 minutes. That is why you need a very, very, very good squad depth so that when the players are tired, you can reshuffle the team, you can make alterations, you can make substitutions and bring in equally fit players. That is why in this preseason, we've noticed that anytime Liverpool, most of the time when Liverpool takes the lead, they end up losing the game. And it's not their fault. It is a classic challenge with high pressing football. The moment you introduce high pressing football, you need two things. You need one, fitness, physique for players who can run for 90 minutes, which is not possible. So you need squad depth. But the physique, even the physique has to be to a certain level that can guarantee you 60 minutes of intensive pressing. When you have that 60 minutes of intensive pressing, then you can proceed, get the bench players to come and continue with the high pressing. If that is not done, most of the time, by the last 20 minutes, your players are tired, and so you get to concede as many as possible. When Klopp came to Liverpool, it was his problem. Then, along the line, he was able to fix it, and then he brought in Alisson Becker and then Virgil van Dijk to cement it. And it will happen to Andoni Iraola as well. It will happen to him. But with time, he will fix it. Before he will figure it out, now time is already gone. And like I said, you need, because you need a squad depth. You know that they've sold Mohamed Salah out of the squad. And so when you come to their front line, Isaac, Hugo Ekitike, who I think has fitness issues. Then there's a certain Rio Ngomua, Cody Gakpo. Then yes, which suggests that the squad depth is not too strong, and so you don't have a lot of attackers on the bench who can come on after 30 minutes and come and run the show for you. And so for me, that is going to be the problem. As for the midfield, I do not see the midfield to be a problem. You only need McAllister to rise up to the occasion. Ryan Gravenberch always control the game for you. Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai, they have the numbers. Then now I think there's a Nyoni. They want to give Nyoni an opportunity after the sale of Curtis Jones to a certain Inter Milan. Yes, so I think that it is just one or two players that they need to sign. I may be tempted to change my prediction if they get to sign all these wingers they are talking about, Ibrahim Mbaye, Bradley Bakola, and all of that. If they are able to do that, I will be tempted to change my rankings that I've provided now. Our surprise for the season is definitely going to be Aston Villa. Aston Villa is great. Unai Emery is solid. Pragmatic, high-line coach. That is solid. I've already explained why the ideas of Unai Emery are unique, and then we are all fascinated about these ideas because of how he blends the archaic system with the modern system. Let us set a block, but let us not set it in our home. Let us set it high. That is a smart thinking to contain the pressure up front. And I love that. I love that about him. I super love that about him. This is my prediction for the Premier League. Let us go into the La Liga. As for the La Liga, Barcelona have maintained the core of their team. Well, Robert Lewandowski and a few others have exited. However, I think that the core of the team is in existence, and once they manage the fitness of Rafinha, they should be good. But even if Rafinha is unavailable, a certain Anthony Gordon has come into the picture. Now, Lamine Yamal has a proper deputy in Karim Adeyemi, and he can be rested. Now, Abdul Karim is also showing signs of being that striker Barcelona can rely on. Now they have Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo, they've added Rodri to the squad, which means that they won't be too dependent on players like Frankie de Jong that I've already told you. And I'm also certain that players like Eric Garcia and Christensen will be focused at the back, and they will not be playing in the middle again. That is going to give the team some level of energy heading into this particular season. And so I think Barcelona is going to win the La Liga. I think that Real Madrid are going to place second in the La Liga because Jose Mourinho, we all know, it is always in the second season that the rhythm picks up. You understand? But this first season, he will do well. He's going to win a trophy, and I know that. I'm certain he's going to win a trophy, but it won't be the La Liga. I'll do a different video and compare the midfields of both Barcelona and then Real Madrid, and you'll see that on paper, Barcelona should not dominate Real Madrid, but they will still dominate Real Madrid. And yes, they have a solid attack. They've brought in a certain Yan Diomande who will play on the right side with Vinicius and Mbappe. That is a very dynamic front three, and it's Jose Mourinho who doesn't have that flair on his hands. But if you get a coach who is able to play free-flowing football with the flair, with this front line, they will confuse defenders. And then create chances left, right, center. They will score helter-skelter every single day. But I am not sure Jose Mourinho will give that fluidity to the team, and I think that they will play that rigid style. But still, even in that rigidity, they will still be able to play very, very well. Then don't forget, when you have a machine like Jude Bellingham playing behind this front three, it is too dangerous for anybody to play against. That is for Real Madrid. The kind of signings they've made, Denzel Dumfries, they've brought in Bernardo Silva, they've brought in a certain Ibrahima Konate, but Marc Cucurella is the man. Marc Cucurella is the man to handle the left back position. You see that Felon Mendy has been injured for most times, and so they had to sell Frank Garcia and bring in Marc Cucurella, who's more reliable and also who can also determine the game for you in El Clasico, because if he is able to pocket Lamine Yamal for you in the El Clasico, it gives you a buffer, because Barca wouldn't have any channel to play through in the absence of Lamine Yamal. Yes, so that is very, very important. Atletico Madrid is going to place third because of the kind of signings they've made. They've brought in a certain Holman and a host of other players coming in. They've also been able to keep the core of their players, especially Julian Alvarez, who Deco is still trying to finalize. I'll do a video on why Atletico de Madrid they are better off selling Julian Alvarez. I mean, it does not serve them or anybody to keep the player. But yes, they are going to place third, and in the fourth position, I want to put Villarreal. Yes, I think they are going to play very, very well in the upcoming season. The Champions League is going to be won by Real Madrid. Yes, you heard it here. Real Madrid will win the Champions League. Jose Mourinho would win the Champions League in his first season, and it's something he's never done before in his career. He's going to get it done. The special one will bring smiles to the Bernabeu. Kylian Mbappe is going to be the top scorer, and he will still be the best player. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my prediction for the upcoming season. Come into the comment section and then let me know whether I am right or wrong. This is ASK Morgan Sports. Thank you for listening to us. Please like the video and follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and go to the comment section and tell us what you think about our work. Thank you so much. We've gotten a lot of followers, and we don't take that for granted. You have made it happen. Thank you so much.